Hey everyone, how's it going? Just want to create a video here. I was actually chatting to my wife a few weeks ago, and she was asking me about this trend that she sees in her social media feeds around weighted vests and what my thoughts are on it. And then actually, and another family member yesterday asked me a similar question. And apparently this trend is being targeted towards a specific demographic, and that's seems to be females who are maybe 30, 40, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So it doesn't show up as much in my social media feeds, but I have heard the topic come up a fair amount on podcasts. So I realize that there's probably something happening, or podcasters are also talking about it. And really, I guess if you fall into this demographic, you probably have seen it in your own social media feeds, but basically, if you don't see it, or not on social media, there's this trend basically saying that women in that demographic should be wearing weighted vests while they're on their walks. And because it's apparently very critical for them in order to maintain their bone and muscle mass at that point in life. And they need to be wearing weighted vest in order to do that. And the recommendations apparently around like 12 to 20 pounds, let's say, in the weighted vest. And apparently there's also, as any good business would do, there's money to be made because now you can make a weighted vest specifically for women that, are special in nature, that would help them build and maintain their bone and muscle mass. So there's that as well. So whenever there's a trend and there's something you can actually sell alongside that trend, it makes it even more popular because now people are going to be marketing things at you and stuff like that. So anyways, my thoughts on this topic. First, I'll say that I'm obviously not a woman. I'm not in that demographic, and I'm not a expert in female specific topics or anything like that. So these are my own thoughts based on what I've heard other reputable scientists and researchers say on the topic. I'll start with that caveat. But I'll start by saying that I'm a fan of weighted vests. I've owned a weighted vest for, probably 10 or so years at this point. I originally purchased my weighted vest because when I was doing obstacle course racing and the races were taking place on ski mountains, the ability to climb up a steep incline was hard and was critical for the race. And at the time, I didn't really live near any mountains. I tried to simulate climbing up a mountain, or to try and make that process, that feat, that effort a little bit easier by putting a weighted vest on and then doing whatever incline I could possibly do. So basically just adding weight to myself so that when it came race day and I didn't have that weight on and I was doing a steeper incline, it wasn't going to be as bad. I had simulated or made up for the lack of being able to actually train on a mountain by putting the treadmill or getting on the stair climber with a weighted vest and just going to town. I could only set the incline on the treadmill so steep, so in order to make up for the lack of the incline being steep enough, I would add a weighted vest, right? So I've owned a weighted vest for a long time. I've been a fan of using it with incline workouts to get some zone 2 easy cardio in, because you can raise your heart rate by essentially adding weight to your body. So I've literally been using them for 10 years, and I'm a fan of a weighted vest, but it's very specific to the modality. And I think that your goals and whatnot really depend on whether it's useful or not. So, to the topic of females in this 30 to 50, say, age demographic, and requiring a weighted vest to increase or maintain their bone mass and muscle mass, I do not think a weighted vest is necessary to do that. In fact, I think it's inferior in accomplishing the goal of maintaining bone and muscle mass when you compare it to strength training. So if you're going to strength train, you're going to get in the gym and you're going to use weights, free weights or machines to put load on your body for an hour a day. I think that beats out going for a walk with a weighted vest. I don't think it's necessary or requirement or there's anything magical about weighted vests that will better than going to the gym and doing resistance training. Now, can it be as effective as resistance training? I think to a point it can be. If you took two people who were deconditioned and have not done any resistance training for a long period of time, and one started wearing a weighted vest and the other one started resistance training, up until a point, I think they would both be similar. Eventually, the weighted vest kind of becomes your norm, right? The 12 pounds or whatever weight you have in the vest becomes, that's it, right? Your body gets used to it. You've adapted to it. It's no longer a stress to your body, which means your body is not going to build or maintain any more muscle at that point. Whereas with resistance training and strength training, you can always add more weight or do more reps or vary the exercise to put a different stress on your body with the same amount of weight. Yes, you can add more weight to your weighted vest, but eventually you're going to top out on that, right? If you've ever tried walking around with 45 pounds in a weighted vest, it's not exactly comfortable. Can you build up to doing it? Yes. Would I want to do that 5 days a week for multiple hours a day? Nope, I wouldn't. I think resistance training has a greater ability to continuously challenge your body, continuously build that muscle and maintain that bone mass. There's that, right? So I think there's several advantages to resistance training over a weighted vest. There's nothing magical about weighted vests. It's just adding a little bit more stressing your bones, stressing your muscles a little bit. That helps maintain a little bit of muscle mass and bone mass, but at some point you reach a plateau where adding more resistance is impossible, and also there's nothing magical about a weighted vest over something else, right? So, no. If you're someone who's doing nothing, you do no resistance training, you're never going to get in the gym, you're never going to pick up a weight, but you want to walk with a weighted vest, I'm all for it. 100%. Do it. Like, I'll buy you the weighted vest and I'll support you 100% to doing that because it's still better than doing nothing, right? So if the only way you're going to put any kind of stress on your bones or your muscles is by putting on a weighted vest and going for a walk, and you refuse to do anything else, I want you to buy a weighted vest and go for a walk because something is always better than nothing. If you enjoy going for a walk with a weighted vest on and you want to do it on top of your resistance training or in addition to your resistance training, I'm all for that too, right? I think you should do that as well. But there is nothing magical about it. All it's really trying to do is put a stress on your bones and your muscles to maintain and build muscle mass. And whether you're male or female, that will work up to a point, but it does have its limitations. And I don't think it's for everyone. I don't think it's a requirement. But if you enjoy it, or it is the only thing you're willing to do in order to put resistance on your muscles and your bones, then let's do it. But I personally believe that resistance training, strength training, any form, whether it's with dumbbells, kettlebells, a barbell, a TRX, resistance bands, your body weight, whatever, is going to be superior to just using a weighted vest. That's my message. That's what I think on the topic. I hope that you find that useful. I hope it maybe alleviates some confusion. or put some clarity to some of the things you're seeing. And if you have any questions or comments about it, want to push back or need more information, please reach out. I'm happy to have a chat, leave a comment below, reach out in direct messages. That's always cool too. As always, if you want to keep up with the content that I put out on a weekly basis, the best way to do that is to sign up for my newsletter. Go to my website, rjvhealth.coach, click on the newsletter link at the top, get your email address there. And if you need more help than what you find in the newsletter or in these videos, and you're looking for a more customized approach to your own health and fitness, please reach out to me. I have one-on-one coaching spots open. You can reach out to me directly and tell me you're interested, or you can, again, go to my website, rjbhealth.coach, click on the schedule discovery call button right on the homepage, and we can chat a little bit more about coaching. With that, I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll talk to you all soon.